I don't think I've seen such a blatant case of an attempt at trying to nickel and dime customers in some time as bad as Space Marine Mastercraft Edition, specifically from Xbox, of course. I mean, we can just go look at Nintendo and PlayStation for some other shining examples of that. So not too long ago, Warhammer, they had their event where they showed a whole lot of games and stuff that they have in the works, including the Siege mode coming to Space Marine 2, which I'm looking forward to. Space Marine 2, I think, is just a fantastic game in general. And Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, the first one, while I was very late to getting around to playing it, it's good. It aged pretty well. So when they announced that they were going to be doing a Mastercraft, which was just like a remastered type version of this game, it did get a lot of excitement. Until it actually came out, and then instantly it went straight to mostly negative on Steam. And well, we have good reasons for that. Because quite simply, it's nothing more than a shameless, blatant cash grab. Over on Steam, we can see that it is currently sitting at $62.95. We'll just call that 63. Keep in mind that's in Australian dollars, so it's about $40 USD. For $40 USD, to get a upgraded version of this game is just a complete scam. You want to know where this becomes a complete fucking scam though? If you currently already own Space Marine, you cannot pay $5, $10, whatever it is to upgrade to this edition. No. You gotta go and buy this whole version of the game separately. Just listen to one of the most popular reviews for this game over on Steam. It says, "This version is not worth $40. Omega lol. I was hyped to play it considering that I was enjoying the original when I was younger. For $40, you get 4K support and a little bit better textures. Gonna request a refund. Probably getting it on sale down the road. Feels like nostalgic cash grab to me. Instantly bought it, logged in to find it's just the same game with 4K support. For $10 more, you can go and buy Claire Obscure Expedition 33 or the Oblivion Remaster. This is not priced correctly." Oh boy, the pricing of modern gaming, one of my favorite topics. Just don't mention it around Nintendo people because they will literally make stuff up out of nowhere when it comes to defending their price points. But that's a topic for another time, right? Also on the Steam page amongst the reviews, there's many people bringing up things like performance issues, a lot of stuttering, all that type of stuff. Which also, you know, if you're going to charge a AA price for this game and it's just a remaster and you've only really got more issues there, that's a problem. People are talking about how there's problems with the original game that are still evident here. And this is not a case of them including the jank in Oblivion, which I think we kind of have to talk about being a little bit different. You can't really have Oblivion without having jank. In something like a Space Marine remaster, I think the jank stuff, as much of it as possible, should be patched, and it just seems like they did none of that. This really was just throw a 4K coat of paint at it and charge AA price, and to those of you that already own the original game, too fucking bad, go buy it again. So what's the alternative to this? Well, you have two choices. You either wait till it goes on deep sale and pick it up, or you gotta go to Game Pass. Yes, Microsoft's cure-all to every problem that they are creating themselves, Game Pass. Now the problem with this though is, well, have a look at this. New code strings attached to Xbox Game Pass suggest a price increase may be imminent. Death, taxes, and subscription service price increases, the three horsemen of inevitability. A new code string suggests Xbox Game Pass is next. I really gotta hand it to Microsoft for this one. It's a pretty genius business strategy. Put out games that people actually want, charge ridiculous amounts of money for them. When people go, that's too expensive, you then say, hey, come to Game Pass. So they go to Game Pass, and then jack up the prices of Game Pass. It's like a drug dealer.
Where's my money, bitch? Bitch, where's my money?
And just to be perfectly transparent, me personally, I do think there is actually some value that you could argue with Game Pass, but it very much is a double-edged sword. We're seeing how the industry is using it as their, again, cure-all while also subscribing you to another problem. And it's such a shame to see that Space Marine Mastercraft Edition is just another victim to this ploy by higher-ups and their never-ending corporate greed. And this actually brings us to our next problem that's going on with Microsoft. So while Space Marine is charging you a full AA price for what is just a 4K remaster while not actually fixing anything, on the other end of the spectrum of that, we do have Gears of War Reloaded, which, granted, is actually giving the game out to free for people who already own the Ultimate Edition. But that has its own share of issues. It absolutely pains me to say this. It truly, truly does. But I gotta be honest, the more I see of Gears of War Reloaded, the more I have to say, this ain't it, Chief. The first thing I want to talk about here is this. Have a look at this tweet here. The game now stretches if you play at a resolution that's not your native aspect ratio. How do we have new issue that was never present in the terrible Ultimate Edition port? And having to pre-order a remaster of a 10-year-old game to get different skins and characters, that's also pretty weird. I also do think it's weird just in general that we have a beta for like a 10-year-old game, because this is really just Gears of War Ultimate Edition, just again, Ultimate Super Duper Ultimate Omega Shenron Edition of Gears of War. That's pretty much what we're doing over here, right? I kind of get the logic behind doing this beta though. We got to make sure the servers are working, which actually brings us to the next problem. So, on day one of this beta, it seems like there was major connection issues. People were unable to find games. It does look like that has since improved over time now, but there's one key problem about this whole situation here. The logic behind bringing a game like Gears of War multi-platform is to strengthen its player base, make it more available to people worldwide, which is something I personally agree with. As a die-hard Gears of War trilogy fan, I think it's totally fine for this game to go multi-platform. I think this whole era of exclusivities needs to come to an end sooner rather than later. So having the ability for people to play online with their friends, even if they're on different hardware, is fantastic. But there is a decision that has been made with this game which I think might actually kill this game when it comes to the longevity of it, people being able to find matches. There are 3 options for crossplay when playing on console. You have console only, you have off, and you have on. Now, without turning this into a massive console versus PC argument, even though PC is the clear winner here, the problem with this is this is only going to serve to sever the player base. We're going to be segregating the player base, which is going to make it harder for people to find matches. If you want to have crossplay on or off, fine, that's totally fine. But then you're going to have PlayStation people that are just going to be playing against PlayStation players because, well, PlayStation players are not really going to have the funnest time playing this game until they eventually start playing and learn how to play Gears of War, which is part of the process, which is part of the fun. But taking that all away from people means PC players, Xbox players, and potentially even PlayStation players will struggle to find matches months after launch of this game, which is a major issue. But for the sake of argument, I did also see this tweet from Astro Cyborg, and God bless his heart, because he managed to record and sit through Reforged Gaming playing Gears of War Reloaded beta. Reforged Gaming really is just the butt end of every joke, and every joke's a penis, and he's just getting butt fucked, which is kind of what he's doing in this fucking video over here. I have not seen someone play Gears of War this poorly. I can remember being a kid, and my friend's little brother, who would have been like 4 or 5, picking up the controller and playing, and he was better than this. Look, if you're not good at multiplayer games, that's totally fine. And in Reforge's somewhat defense, he did say that he's not good at these types of games, but then for him to go on and give opinions about matchmaking and stuff like that, it's quite simple.
Shut the fuck up!
The more I see of Gears of War Reloaded, the more I have to ask, why? Just why are we going down this route? Why not just release Gears of War Ultimate Edition on PlayStation? Why not just add crossplay enabled? Instead, we got to make all these other decisions that just seem to take away the whole point of this game's existence. So on one hand, we have Space Marine Mastercraft Edition, which is just ripping people off. And on the other hand, we have Gears of War Gears of War Reloaded. And again, we're just sitting here being like, what is the rationale behind these decisions? I really hope I am wrong on this and this game can have a thriving multiplayer scene. God knows Gears of War needs that at the moment for the original trilogy of games. Speaking of which, where's Gears 2? Where's Gears 3? Give me those PC ports. And no, Xbox Game Pass, cloud gaming does not fucking count. The more I think about the state of Gears of War, the sadder I truly get. But hey, E-Day, please E-Day, please be good.